Veronica Largiu is an accomplished Italian singer renowned for her captivating vocals featured on various EDM tracks and her recently released debut single, Baby, which was released on the 14th of February under the Luca Music Records label. And Veronica is with us here. How are you today?
Hello, I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you here. Now, of course, your debut single, Baby, was released just a couple of weeks ago on Valentine's Day. So,
Yeah.
how does it feel to have that single out there in the world?
Oh, it feels great. Actually, I got a lot of support from a lot of people around the world. And obviously, I was expecting people to react to it and share it and obviously get some feedback, but I was not expecting all of that support at all. Support from people that I haven't spoken to in ages and people that I don't even know and everywhere in the world. Well, I lived in various countries, so I have let's say a good network of people from everywhere around the world. Yeah, it's great. I was not expecting so much support, so yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. And what was the inspiration behind this song, Baby?
I started working with Gary Luca, which is one of the composers of the songs. Started working with him about September or October last year, so not long ago. I record songs for a lot of artists on a platform called Some Better. So I met him there, and Baby was one of the first songs that we recorded together. And at first it was just like him giving me some songs and me trying to make them a bit mine and trying to work them out a little bit and make them a bit modern as well, because some of the songs were a bit old. And Baby was one of the first ones, and I think that was the song that made us go, okay, we need to start a serious project here. We need to make an album. And so yeah, basically he sent me the song, and I thought it was a great song, so I put I did my thing on it. Let's say that I made it mine and added a lot of backing vocals and other things that were not there before. And
how would you describe the musical style of it in terms of its genre?
The first time I heard a demo of the song, I felt it was a bit of sort of like 80s power ballad kind of thing, you know? Yeah, so those songs, like a bit like Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston kind of ballads, of that time, let's say, 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And I have to say it's one of those styles that I've always loved, and definitely all those singers from like 70s, 80s, early 90s have always been my inspiration. So I think it was also easy for me to connect to the song style-wise, because I feel it's very mine, as in terms of style of the song. Yeah,
it's very sort of soulful, isn't it? You can hear a lot of those influences in there.
Yeah, it is. And it was a surprise for me as well, because as artists, especially singers, I think we always feel a bit insecure sometimes regarding our abilities. So for me, I feel that song as a first song as well to release of the upcoming album. I feel like it shows a lot of the things that my voice can do. It's like a nice sample of things that my voice is able to do. So even for me to hear that song, the final mix, and to hear myself singing in a certain way and a certain style was a motivation for me as well, to feel like, okay, I got this, and felt really motivated. And also to like hearing the feedback of people as well, I was very, very happy about it.
Absolutely. Now, of course, you collaborated on this single with Luca Music Records. So how did that collaboration come about?
Yeah, so like I said, it all started on Some Better, this recording, this platform for artists. So it was just a random encounter, let's say, because Gary Luca, which is his artist name is Deltimo. He sent me a song first, and then a few others, and then Baby, and then after we recorded Baby, we recorded so many songs together. I think since October we've done like 20 songs or something. So but I think Baby was the song that made him decide, because it's his own independent record label. So I think that song Baby made him decide to make a serious project together and write an album, release an album, and start releasing singles. So that's how it all happened.
You mentioned that this single, Baby, is one of the songs from your solo album. So what can we expect from the overall album?
Well, first of all, breaking news, because I haven't announced it officially yet. There's another song coming out on the 15th of March, so very soon, just a few weeks. And the song is called Morning Light. And that song, I have to say, is one of my favorites. It's pop, but still with 80s vibes, but it's more an upbeat song. It's very upbeat, and I think it's very good as well, because we're getting close to spring, summer, and it's got that sort of like nice, happy, happy vibe. So I think what you can expect from the whole solo album is a lot of pop music with a lot of 80s vibes, that sort of like synth sounds, and sort of like modern but vintage at the same time.
Now, were there any challenges in creating your own solo album?
Yes. Not for the songs, I would say, because I've always created music and always collaborated with people on like writing songs, so that was easy. And I have to say, Gary and I have a really, really good connection. I think we really think the same when it comes to songs, and we have the same very similar taste in music, very similar ideas. So that part was not hard at all. We have a really good connection. But the challenges were when it comes to recording, because obviously besides recording songs, I'm also a resident singer on a cruise ship. So I sing on a cruise ship. So I have my little home studio with me, and so the challenges were to find the right time to record. Sometimes the communication, like for instance, at the moment I'm in New Zealand, so sometimes my I'm everywhere in the world, and in very random time zones. So sometimes the communication or maybe the internet connection is not so good when I'm on board. So sometimes the challenges are about like finding the right time to record, and the technology part, that everything works and that the time zone doesn't interfere with things. But I make it work. I'm used to it, so I make it work.
Well, that sounds so difficult. Even if you weren't a musician, you would find that hard in this day and age to be cut off for so long.
Yeah, the thing is that you do have internet connection, but sometimes it's a bit slow. But for me, it's always really important to not be isolated from what happens on land and from all the projects that I have on land. So it is an extra effort that I have to make, but I'm more than happy to make it, because for me, making my own music and now releasing my music and doing this is so important to me. So I make it work.
Do you have any particularly memorable moments from recording the album?
Well, there's a few songs that really that are really important to me. Some songs are written by Gary and Braddon as well. Braddon is another producer working on the album. He's from Holland. So there's a few songs written mainly by them, but then there's a few songs that will be in the album written by me only. So I think the moment in which I asked Gary, is it okay if you give a listen to my songs and see if they can work out for the album, and he liked a lot of my songs, and he said, yes, let's do it. For me, that was a memorable moment, because it's that feeling of somebody believing in you, but not only for your singing abilities, but also for your songwriting abilities, and the songs that you write are like your baby. So when somebody says, I love them, let's produce them properly, let's do it, it's a great feeling. So that feeling of somebody really believing in me is a memorable thing for me, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, let's go right back to the very beginning. What was your upbringing like? Did your environment influence your passion for music at all? How did you really get into it?
I was born in Italy, in Sardinia, so kind of small island, and no one in my family is a musician.
Yeah.
So no one. So I have no idea how I started liking music, how I started singing, but I started really early. Since I started talking, basically I started singing. There's a few videos of me when I was really little singing, and I always have the memory of like me making up songs in like made up languages and just, creating music, since I was really little. My parents did like a lot of music and listen to a lot of music, so I think I connected to what they were listening to, and then it just it was just something that I really liked and made me feel free to sing and just express myself through music. And but because nobody in my family is a musician, it was really hard to sort of pursue a career in music and try to make everyone understand that I wanted to do that job and that I was serious about it. So I had to do some extreme things to make them understand, and eventually they did. And my family is always very supportive. They're my biggest fan. But so I had to move to London when I was 19, and it was a bit of an extreme decision because I moved to, well, basically I signed up for an audition for a music university, and then I just told my parents, okay, this day I'm flying to London for an audition, and if it goes well, I'm leaving.
Wow.
And they were like, what? Oh my God. And they were shocked, but
Yeah.
then eventually I did go to London, got my place in a university, and they, I think from then they understood that I was serious about it. And obviously it was very tough because I was young, I was just 19, and I was supporting myself, working full time, studying full time. So it was really hard, but I think those years shaped me into the person that I am now and gave me that determination and ambition, and to always try to do better and better, and try to do better things and all of that. So yeah.
And how do you think those experiences in London and graduating from both the Institute of Contemporary Music Performance and Berklee College of Music have influenced your growth as an artist?
Both universities, they really taught me how to, first of all, it sounds not important, but I think it is, they taught me how to network a lot.
Yeah.
So they taught me how to not only, obviously, besides the musical skills and all the things that you have to study, but they taught me a lot how to talk to people, how to communicate to people when you're trying to sort of like get into a job like in a band or whatever, how to communicate and sell yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also how to work with people, because obviously as a musician, as an artist, you work with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you want to be first of all a decent person, but
Yes.
also you want to be skilled, and you want to communicate properly and all of that. So I think that was really important. They really taught me how to network, and I have to say, especially the Institute of Contemporary Music, they really taught me a lot about style. So I didn't think about it when I was there, because we had this class called style, and they used to teach us a lot of like small things, teach us about all the styles really, and vocally, so how to sing like voice distortion, for instance, how to make all these like techniques, how to make all these things with your voice and some other little things. So I didn't think that was important at the time, and then when I started doing more things throughout the years, I realized how important that was, because I feel I have a big knowledge of all the styles, and I can apply all of that in my song. So I think those things were really important. And at Berklee College of Music, the master was in performance and production. So that is when I learned a lot about production. So how to use all the softwares to record music, and how to record different instruments if I'm in a studio. So I have knowledge about it. So I'm not just lost like, oh my God, I don't know anything about this, but I can actually own the situation, let's say that.
And it's not just London that your music career has taken you to. You've travelled the globe from Ecuador to Madrid, and of course, as you mentioned, you perform on cruise lines around the world. So how do you think those diverse cultural experiences have influenced your music?
Well, it's a very Interesting question, and I think it's very hard to answer this because I have the even daily I'm in touch with so many different cultures
Yeah.
that sometimes I don't think about it. And well, first of all, because of all these experiences around the world, I'm fluent in a lot of languages, so that for me is a plus because I can communicate with people better, and especially when it comes to music, it's like I can that helps me to communicate with a lot of people, musicians from around the globe, and sing their music in their language, and then it's all like things that just stay in my head, and then all of a sudden they inspire me in the songs that I do, or even in the way I sing sometimes. And I think that the fact that I've been in touch with so many cultures helped me to develop a lot of empathy and understanding when it comes to people in general, because you understand that your way of thinking is not the only way of thinking. The only way that the way of the way you live, the way you think, the way you do things is not the only way. So you learn how to see people and things in a lot of different perspectives.
Of course, your single Baby is out now, and we've got the album on the way. So what can we expect from you after these projects? Is there anything else you're working on?
Well, at the moment, I'm really, really focused on this, of course. And I'm trying to not get involved in so many things because I really want to make this project good. But I am working on a few songs with Deltimo, Gary Luca, which is one of the producers. He's got his own EDM music. So we released about a week ago, I think a bit less than a week ago, on the 23rd. Yeah, so less than a week ago, we released a single together. It's called Break Free. And then he's also releasing an album later on the year. So there will be more songs in which I'm featured on that album. So that is sort of like a separate project. So yeah, I think it's nice because my album has a different vibe, and then people can also hear me singing different like dance tracks, EDM. So I think that is also a thing that proves the point that I think I'm a quite versatile singer, and always open for new projects and new things. So yeah, that's pretty much how my year is looking like.
Exciting. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to find everything that you've came out with so far, and in particular this new song, Baby?
You can listen to Baby and my new song coming out on the 15th of March, Morning Light. You can hear it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. There's a lyric video of Baby for now on YouTube, and we're working on the actual music video for the new song, Morning Light. And any streaming platform, you can find the song there. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, many thanks for joining us today. It's been great having you on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. It was really great to finally talk to you and me.